Buongiorno everyone, welcome back to Lineup Predictions. Welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV, where we will be predicting the lineup for the game tomorrow night. That's Friday, 8 o'clock kickoff, Friday night, live on Sky Sports. Newcastle United away at the King Power Stadium to third place Leicester City. Going to be an awfully tough game, that, especially after that Arsenal performance. Well done, lads. Fucking shit show, that. Well, actually looking forward to that one as well after a couple of decent performances, a couple of decent results, especially draw against Tottenham, wins at Burnley and West Ham, especially West Ham that we didn't expect, a good draw away to Liverpool. Arsenal in pretty bad form, weren't really doing that well, so we were confident going into that one, but let down. Looks like the previous points must have been the lads on the beach thinking that we're safe when we're really not. We've got Leicester, as I say, third place Friday. Next game, first place Man City. Doubt we're going to get anything off them. Leicester, a few weeks ago, I was actually looking forward to this game, especially off the back of like the Tottenham and West Ham results. I think they had a few players out. I think Jamie Vardy was out for a while. He's back now. They lost a couple of games, but I think they're 3 or 4 unbeaten now. A couple of decent wins. Southampton, they played recently. West Brom as well. Like, not great teams, but they've still been chipping away, getting them results, and they're still third in the league. They've got Vardy back now. Kelechi Iheanacho, Jesus, on the form of his life. I think he's got like 10 goals in his last 11 or 11 and 12 or something crazy like that. Been banging them in recently. Couple injuries. Harvey Barnes, who I'm a big fan of, he's out likely for the season. Justin James, the right back, and Captain Morgan is also out. So that's their team news, really, if there's even any need. It's not as if they need Barnes, James and Morgan to beat Newcastle after that Arsenal result, the Arsenal game. Just disappointing, man. I really thought we could have gotten a point out of that one. We just didn't shape up like we cared. It was back to the old Brucey ball. Shit, shocking. Very, very disappointed in that one. So that's led me to not be overly optimistic about this one. Newcastle's injury front, then we'll go through it, and the usual suspects: Jamal Lascelles, Isaac Hayden, Carl Darlow and Ryan Fraser, all players likely out for the rest of the season. This is the 4th last game of the season. I'm forgetting how quick the season's shaping up. 2.5 weeks and it's all done and dusted. Let's say City's the one afterwards, and then it's the big 2, Sheffield United and Fulham after that. So Lascelles, Bruce spoke about in his press conference, he says that he's touch and go whether he'll play for the rest of the season, basically meaning the Fulham game, last game of the season. Will he be back? Who knows? He says he's looking all right. He's out of the boot that he had on after his broken metatarsal. So Lascelles may be back by the end of the season, which is 2.5 weeks away. Will Hayden, Darlow and Fraser, that's to be seen. Fabian Schär, the only game he can play now for the rest of the season is that Fulham game, the last game of the season. He's been out for the last 11 weeks. Came back, Arsenal, second half sub, red card. Newcastle's appealed it today, which has been unsuccessful. So Fabian Schär is going to be out for the next 3 games. So Fulham, last game of the season, is the only game we can see him back in. Elliot Anderson got a spot on the bench last week, unused, of course. Bruce says that he's had a hip injury, which could see him out for the next couple of weeks. So, as I say, only 2.5 weeks by the end of the season. So that could be his season done. Joe Willock, of course, is available now after sitting out the Arsenal game, obviously not being able to play for his parent club whilst out on loan. So it's great to have him back in the squad. Bruce addressed Matty Longstaff today as well. Speaking to, I think it was BBC Newcastle, says he's getting over an injury. He says, like, Matty's obviously disappointed with the year that he's had. And as fans, I know we all are. We speak about it on a regular basis here on the Magpie channel. Where's Matty? Free Matty. Why is he not playing? Why did we bring him back in the summer? He was out of contract. He was getting deals from teams abroad, Italy, France. Lots of teams in the Championship wanted him. We brought him back as a big player for the future, big fan favourite. Doesn't get a game. Like, what was the point? Why did we bring him back? But Brucey says, like, he's just been having niggly injuries. It's just been really frustrating. Just little injuries. It's just been keeping him on the sideline for a month here, a week there. Like we've seen, like even in January when when we knew we were going to be bringing in Joe Willock, why didn't we send him out on loan? And why is he not playing for the under-23s? I think he's only made one under-23s appearance this season. Why? Where is he? But Brucey says he's just been getting just little injuries that's just been really frustrating for everybody involved, especially Matty. I think Brucey says that you would like to put him in, but is he talking shit? Let me know in the comments. Is Brucey waffling as per? But he says he's just getting over that now. Them injuries, they're looking like they're on the back burner now. He's just getting over them injuries, and he says he has got a big future to play here at Newcastle, and he just needs to keep going. But with a couple of weeks left of the season, will he make an impact? It's seemingly unlikely now, but we'll see. Hopefully we can't see him, because I want him to play. I want him to be a part of this club going forward in the future. And the only two that I can mention is Javier Manquillo, whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday, Javier Manquillo. And Andy Carroll, who reports are today that he might not come back next year. He's obviously out of contract in the summer, and reports are saying that he's going to be done. We're not going to be offering him a new contract, which is completely understandable, because he can't really stay fit either. When he does come on, doesn't really make the contribution that you would like. So, but they were absent last week in the Arsenal game. Surprised absentees. Nothing was mentioned about them in the pre-game press conference, and nothing's been mentioned about them this week either. So I don't know where them two are. Not sure why they were missing last week. I'm assuming just maybe little injuries that they picked up late on. But yeah, where they are now, are they going to be a part of this game? Nobody knows, because they haven't been spoken about. So they're two to look out for the bench. They've been on the bench for the last few weeks prior to the Arsenal game anyway, with no inclusion. So it's not that big of a deal. But we'll get through to the starting 11 then, and this is going to be a fairly easy one for me, I think. There's a couple more talking points towards the end. A couple of weeks ago for the Burnley game, I just dropped it on you. Usually I go through them one by one. The Burnley game? The one before? Liverpool, I think it was the Liverpool game. I was like, it's just easy. Like, we've been getting decent results, especially after the West Ham game. Brucey isn't going to change a winning formation or starting 11, even though the likes of Willock was on the bench. Big impact, getting goals, not getting on. Callum Wilson still coming back from injury. Everyone wanted him in the starting 11, wasn't getting on. So it was just easy. I was like, here it is. There's the starting 11. Bang. There it is. Piece of piss. So this one is pretty similar. Maybe a couple of talking points further on. So we'll get into it. And in goal, Martin Dubravka. Of course, especially with Carl Darlow being out, Mark Gillespie isn't getting in. So we can slide past that one. And same formation, even though the Arsenal game was an absolute shambles, we're not going to be changing it. I think this is going to be it for the rest of the season, especially with Lascelles and Sharp going to be out for at least the next 3 games after this. It's not going to change. I can't see that changing. At the wing backs, Murphy and Murphy and Ritchie been doing all right. Both a bit disappointing in the Arsenal game. Murphy especially. It was good to see Ritchie in, because he was a doubt. I put Jamal Lewis in the starting 11 for the Arsenal lineup prediction, but thankfully Ritchie did get on, because we need him. His captain abilities, leadership, desire and passion is everything that we want. Well, we're still in this relegation battle and don't think that we're out of it just yet. We still need to start picking up them points. And now people probably are just thinking, well, Fulham's not going to get them points. That's not the difference. That doesn't fucking matter. We need to pick up our own points. It doesn't matter that Fulham are losing. I want to win games. I want to be picking up points where we can be. I want to survive on our own ability. I don't want to rely on other teams. So we still need to keep picking up them points. While it's not mathematically safe yet, until we are, we shouldn't be on the beach. Like, as we quite clearly were in the Arsenal game. Keep going. There's still games to play for. There's still points to earn. So, yeah, back 5, simple as that. Murphy, Fernandes, Clark, Dummett, Ritchie, piece of piss. Midfield, this is a talking point, especially with Willock being back. I think prior to the Arsenal game, Bruce says, oh, well, Willock's been playing really well, and if he wasn't ineligible, then I'd be wanting to start him. Did you, though? Are you waffling, Brucey? Are you talking shit again? I don't know. I just don't think that you would have. I think we were doing all right. We were picking up points where we needed to be, with Shelvey and Sean Longstaff in the middle of the field. Willock coming on, fresh legs, late impact, goals and equalisers, equaling points. So my central midfield 2 will be John Joe Shelvey and Joe Willock. Going to be dropping Sean Longstaff. For weeks we've been talking about Sean Longstaff and John Joe Shelvey. Do they offer enough? The simple answer to that is no for me. Neither one of them. And we'll get a lot of stick for criticising John Joe Shelvey. Like, it's 50-50, really. Like, loads of people have our back. Loads of people are more upfront about it than what we are. They just say he's shit. Like, I can see bits in Shelvey, just not enough. Same with Sean Longstaff, since he's been brought back. Decent first halves, peters out second half. Just energy's gone. Whereas Willock, he's got the legs. He's fresh. He's ready to go. Like, we don't need to take him off after an hour. So it's just getting frustrating that we're only bringing him on for 20, 30 minutes towards the end. Why don't we start him for 90 minutes and we don't need to use him as a super sub? Hopefully he can get a couple of first half goals as he done on his debut at Southampton at home. Scored within the first 10 minutes of his debut. That's what he's good at, getting into the box late. That's why we brought him in, to score goals. Why are we waiting right until the end? Why are we playing Shelvey and Longstaff to just peter on, doing just the fucking bare minimum to see we're through, and then bring the super sub on late on? It's annoying. I want to see Willock from the start. I'd like to drop both of them, preferably. I'd love to bring Matty Longstaff in, as I've said, but unfortunately that's probably not going to happen. So, yeah, one of them's got to start, and obviously Shelvey's been the captain for the last few weeks in Lascelles' absence, so you're not going to shove him out of the starting 11. If anyone's getting dropped, it's Sean Longstaff. So Shelvey and Willock, the midfield pair for me. Going further forward into the front three, I spoke about this. Was it the Arsenal lineup prediction? I think it was. I dropped Almiron for Joelinton and took a little bit of stick for it. Had a comment saying, stick the dominoes, mate. Haven't played dominoes since I was 6 years old and I used to stay with my great-grandma. But that's by the by. Almiron's just been disappointing for me for a long time now. Since his injury, that Southampton game where Willock made his debut, we had 3 injuries picked up in that game. Manquillo, Callum Wilson and Almiron. Put them out for 6 to 8 weeks. Almiron was the first one back a little bit prematurely, I thought. The Brighton game just before the last international break. Done fuck all, because I thought he was rushed in. Had a couple of weeks for the international break to just recuperate, just get that energy level up, match sharpness up, but it just still isn't there for me. The one thing I will say is work rate. He's a fucking grafter. He gets back, sticks a tackle in, tries to win back possession. That's all well and good. But he's a forward player, and at the minute he's offering absolutely nout for me, and it's just really frustrating. I think, honestly, that's why I put Joelinton on him, because I think he is confident now. I think he's just got that bit of spunk about him. He's just his head's up. He's got a couple of goals. The Tottenham and the West Ham game got a couple of goals. He's contributing. I think he's holding up the ball really well. He's getting forward. Even the Liverpool game, he was dribbling. He was beating the man. He was getting shots on target. They weren't very good shots. Granted, he wasn't scoring goals, but he was trying. He was contributing, and that's what Almiron's lacking at the minute for me. He was lucky not to have gotten sent off in the Arsenal game, which is fucking bullshit from Mike Dean, by the way. Got a yellow card for an Arsenal player scraping past him. A couple of minutes later, again, just a little scrapey past on the edge of the box, give away a free kick. I was thinking, fucking hell, he's going to get sent off here, which is no fault of his own. He was putting the tackles in, which you would love to see, and there weren't fouls, but he got a yellow card early, and then committed another foul, which wasn't a foul, a couple of minutes later. And that sub was made early in the first half. In the second half, Almiron off, Joelinton on. Good sub. Well deserved. So I would say Joelinton to start, but I'm going to stick with Almiron because I think that's what Brucey will do. I don't think Brucey will change the team up too much. Joelinton was only really getting game time because Callum Wilson was out, and now Callum Wilson's back. That's Joey being dropped to the bench. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Joelinton start. But my prediction, putting myself in Brucey's shoes, is Almiron sticks in that starting 11 alongside Alan Saint-Maximin and Callum Wilson, of course. As long as them two's fit, that were best players by a country mile, most reliable. Didn't get into the game as much as I would have liked against Arsenal, but to be fair, nobody did. It was a poor performance from everyone. Saint-Maximin first 20 minutes, getting on the ball, looking really good, really sharp, creative, trying to break the defence, which isn't very good. Arsenal's defence is poor. We should have been getting at them a lot more. And that was basically the plan. Give the ball to Maxi, he'll do the magic. And he just didn't really have that clinicalness. He just wasn't cutting through as much as we would have liked. First 20 minutes, he looked like he was going to have a great game, but nothing really. And Callum Wilson just couldn't contribute because he wasn't getting the service. Brucey spoke about him. He says he's over that injury now. With a hamstring, you've got to be careful. You just got to be sensible. You just haven't got to throw him in at the deep end. And I think Brucey played that situation very, very well. He got 90 minutes against Arsenal, which Brucey says is class. Well, he didn't say it was class, but he says 90 minutes. It's good for his mental state as much as anything. Like sitting on the bench, just waiting and waiting and waiting. It can be good mentally. Will I come back and disrupt the injury again? No, is the answer. So he's comfortable now. He's confident. The injury's gone. So Wilson and Saint-Maximin straight in that starting lineup forever. We'll have a look at the bench then. And Mark Gillespie, of course, in the absence of Carl Darlow. Manquillo, happy birthday. If he's fit, like I said before, I don't know where he is. He wasn't there last week, so hopefully he can come back again. Emil Kraft and Jamal Lewis. Sean Longstaff drops to the bench alongside Jeff Hendrick. An absence there for Anderson, who was an unused sub last week. As I said before, he's going to be out for a couple of weeks of injury. Unfortunately, Matty will probably be excluded again, as much as I would love to see him on the bench and actually get some minutes towards the end. Julian drops to the bench, and Dwight Gale and Andy Carroll, what similar to Manquillo, missed out last week. So if either of those miss out again, then Matty will get his spot back on the bench. And if both of them are out, then fuck Naz, because there's not many options. That's my prediction there then, guys. Give me yours in the comments below, along with a score prediction. As I said before, I was looking forward to this a few weeks ago. Now I'm not after the Arsenal game. 3rd versus 17th. On paper, there's only one team in this, especially at home. We haven't got a very good record at the King Power. We usually get fucking stuffed, if I'm being brutally honest. So I'm going to go probably a 2-1 Leicester win, maybe, and that's being generous. They could quite easily put a couple more away with Vardy and Iheanacho up front. So as long as we defend well, hold off, try and stop them scoring as many, keep the goal difference down. That's maybe one positive to look out of it. If we can get a point, if we can come away with a 1-1 or something, then great. It's one more point towards survival, a point against the top 4 team, which we got against West Ham. 3 of them, in fact. So, yeah, point I'll be over the moon with, but unfortunately, just can't see it happening. So come back tomorrow for all the match day content. Me and Renty will be back for the live watch along with all the post-match content. Thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy yourself.